Hello, welcome back in my kitchen and at my table. This time I'm not alone. I'm not going to be the one cooking. I'm going to be the assistant today, and my lovely Kimmy is cooking today.
Yeah, that's very right. Welcome to Vicky's table. And I'll be making first a homemade pita bread. And the first part of our dish for later, which will be a sabi, which is an Israeli dish, which uses aubergines and a tomato cucumber salad with tahini, hummus, and a spicy sauce. So yeah, I will get started and show you what we need.
It sounds like a lot of work, but apparently it's easy, because that's what we want. Easy, quick, healthy meals. Okay, let's start cooking.
Yeah. So we're gonna need a couple of things, and I will show them to you now of what we need and how much. And we're gonna need one measuring jug, which indicates milliliter. What we first need to do at the very beginning is make our yeast product, which we're gonna then pour into our dough. So we're gonna need 240 milliliters of lukewarm water. So we don't mix it, we just let it stand and kind of wait for it to bubble up and become active, which usually takes around 5 minutes. So while our yeast is bubbling and getting to it and working hard, we're gonna do the flour mixture. Now I'm gonna be using a mixing machine, so not a handheld mixer, which is a lot easier with dough hook. And first we're gonna just mix it around a bit using the mixer. But if you don't have a machine to mix it with, don't use a handheld one, I would suggest. Instead, just grab a spoon and mix it about a bit, like I'm doing now. Yeah. Just so that the two types of flours are evenly spread out and mixed nicely together, and that's so the salt is as well. We can see here already that there's little bubbles forming and that the foam is building on top, which means our yeast is actually ready and we can use it. If you've used a dough hook, I don't know, can you see this?
Yes.
Yeah? You're gonna have a little well in the middle. And with any kind of dough you make, it's really great if you make a well in it first and then add the liquid mixture into the well and slowly incorporate the flour within. So this is to avoid any clumps and lumps within your dough, actually. So I'm gonna add first 1 tablespoon of oil to the middle. And because I'm using the machine, I'm adding it all at once. But if you're doing it by hand, you're gonna want to slowly add and incorporate. So let's turn it on and let's wait and see. Yeah. Dough is now fully incorporated. And what we want is kind of like a smooth and elastic, and don't worry, it's gonna be sticky dough. So we're just gonna take this off. So we can see it's really sticky, but that's all right, it's how it's supposed to be. Okay, and now we're gonna put it in an oiled bowl and cover it with a damp, like a damp cloth.
Kitchen towel.
Yeah, kitchen towel. And let it sit and pro for about an hour to 2 hours. So we're gonna need several things. First of all, for the sabi, we're gonna need. Then we're gonna need for the sauce, for the zouk sauce. I'm gonna start with the zouk sauce because that's easy to make the beforehand, and you can just put it in the fridge, and even you can keep it up to several days in a sterile glass if you want to. And I'm just gonna quickly blitz that so that we have the chili that's nicely chopped up and everything's kind of incorporated. And then we're gonna add the parsley. Good, I just blitzed that real quick, just so the chili is kind of chopped up. Then we're gonna take our parsley, I'm gonna take this whole bunch here, and I'm just gonna rip off the ends. Yeah, all off. I'm gonna rip it in half real quick, pop it in there, just go wild.
The Jamie Oliver way.
Yeah, exactly. Jamie likes to do everything with his hands. And I'm gonna use about, 1 to 2 tablespoons, but I'm just gonna wing it. So, we kind of have a paste in a way here, but I want it to be a little bit more like a sauce, so I'm gonna add 2 teaspoons of water to it. Just wanted to show you this is about what it's supposed to look like. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna work on our aubergines. Now I will be making the salad, which is going to go into the pita bread with our aubergine. And for that we will need 1 cucumber, a couple of tomatoes, and we'll chop that up. And we're gonna use a lemon, olive oil, and salt dressing. So as we can see, the dough has risen to about double the size. And I'm just gonna roll it into a kind of sausage. Split the dough into about 6 equal pieces. So let's load it into a ball, each of them. Put them on something like a plate, or I put them on a chopping board now with enough space between them, because we're gonna let them sit for another 20 minutes so that they rise again, and they're gonna get bigger, so they need a lot of space to grow. And let it rest, 20 minutes. I'm going to roll out the pita dough now. Meanwhile, what I'm also doing is I'm gonna heat up my oil. Oh, you're gonna roll it. I'm gonna roll. Teamwork. Teamwork. Now I'm gonna put, because the aubergine last batch, I'm nearly done with it. So I'm gonna put the pita bread in the oven. So set the oven on fan to the highest temperature. And it only goes in for about 5 minutes.
Pita's going into the oven.
Into the oven! Perfect time to drink your wine.